Hi, my name is Richard Shockley, USBC Gold Level Coach, and I'm in charge of bowler development for the Bowlersmart Company. Today we're going to talk about a concept called detox. You know, bowling balls today are more porous, they're reactive resin, but they soak up a lot of oil the more games you bowl. This particular ball has about 50 or 60, maybe 70 games on it. This is Dan's ball, and I can tell how really loaded up with the oil that is in here. This ball is due for a detox, which is a water bath to lead this oil out. This is a ball that we've got after detox, and I can feel the tackiness of the surface of the ball, what's going on, real squeaky. And you know what, Dan, like I said earlier, there's more volume in the middle of the lane. A lot of bowlers play there.
Correct, and that's, the majority of our bowlers are playing from 10 to 10 in that inside shot. And because we've got a lot of higher rev players, they like to stand a little bit further left, so they're playing across that volume.
And the more that you get more volume in the ball, you really have to take care of this. What happens is, in my case, and you're going to see this in a little bit, Dan, I started out with a ball that I had. It was tremendous ball reaction. I actually shot a 300, which was amazing. Lost the ball reaction a little bit about 40 or 50 games after that, and all I was doing was leaving a weak 8-10 and a stone 5-pin. Stone 5-pin. So now I know I'm in trouble. So what I looked at is to detox this ball again. We did it again, and guess what happened?
It came back.
And I shot another 300. So I haven't shot 3 300s in my life. Shot one in 1984, then I shot 2 in 6 weeks. And I attribute that to getting the oil out of the ball, so it allowed me to carry better. So what we're going to do, Dan, is we're going to actually show you the detox process with Bowlersmart, our pro shop manager in Rockford, Illinois. He's going to go through the detox system and show you exactly how this process works.
Thanks, Coach. Today we're going to be showing you the procedures on how to do a detox. Here at the Bowlersmart location in Rockford, Cherry, we have a little different way of doing it just because our system is set up within our cabinets. I have a cabinet spinner here that I'm going to use for a ball that I've been using quite frequently lately, the Hammer Web Tour Edition. Coach and I have both actually been using that ball quite considerably. Doing so, it's actually gotten a ton of games on it, and it is definitely due for a detox because of those amount of games. You have about 60 to 90 games before you'll start seeing a difference in your ball motion generally. So 9 times out of 10, it probably isn't just the lanes that you're seeing or the issues of weather. The ball itself is actually detouring towards what it was when it first got it out of the box. Basically, its pores are starting to get closed up, and the friction that it sees on the lanes is actually causing it to get to that lane shine that you see on the ball. Coach has actually got to quite a considerable amount of lane shine and was curious as to why he was leaving some 10 pins every once in a while. And further discussion, I finally convinced him that it was a good time to start doing the detox again. So what I'm going to show you is that we're actually going to take my Web Tour, got it sitting here on the ledge, and take the Web Tour. What we do with it before we put it into the detox is we do 1,000 grit on top of the ball, top and bottom basically. So we'll do the top half with 1,000 grit, and I have a spinner here that is actually right next to the detox, and our detox is in a part of the cabinet that's next to the spinner here. So turn on the spinner, and once the water starts spitting out a little bit, then we can get a little bit more of that pressure on the ball to get that 1,000 grit to kind of cut it and open up the pores of the ball. Once I've done that on the one side here, I am going to stop it, flip it to the other side, do the same thing, and make sure that those pores are nice and ready to be able to accept the sonic wave detox machine that we are going to use to get that oil out. So now that we have been able to do that, our next step is going to be to make sure that it's cleaned off a little bit. In our system here, because of using the water base, trying to keep the dust down a little bit, this is actually a good procedure to get done. And it allows us to clean it up just a little bit before it goes in the detox machine so it doesn't have a bunch of gunk in the water when we get there. So the next clip you're going to see is with us getting the ball into the detox, getting some water into it, and the procedure that we do here is just a slight bit of difference just due to the fact of how our setup is for the detox machine. We are now in front of the detox machine. Our cabinet spinner is only about a foot away from the detox machine, so it allows us to have easy access to this, and it's inside of a cabinet, a little counter space where I have cut it out when we first originally moved into the space. So the detox machine is inside of our countertop here. It's made out of a lane bed that is from the lanes here. What I'm going to do next is going to put the ball inside the detox with the grips basically on this side of the rail, so that when we get the ball back out of there, we can pour the water back out of the grips. When we go to set this in here, I typically fill it with just a little bit of water before we get started with pouring the water fully in there. But what I'm going to do is set the ball in there now with the thumb side up. And once we have accomplished that, next step is going to be pouring the water into the system to get the process started with this. And I want to quickly explain to you that the machine itself has got metal with transducers underneath it that cause those waves to be able to bounce back and forth between the metal and the ball. And then we have an accelerator that actually gets us started a little quicker with that release of the oil out of the ball. So in our next clip, you're going to see us actually pouring the water inside the ball. All right, now that we are set and ready to go with the ball inside of the detox machine, we now need to add the rest of the water into the machine. So we are now going to try to place the water on the outside portion of the ball, trying not to get it inside of the thumb hole, and we are going to leave it within about an inch and a half or so from the thumb. In our next clip that you're going to see, we'll basically give you an instruction as to the purpose and what this machine will actually do for it. Now we are back in front of the detox machine with the water fully inside of the detox machine, and it's surrounding the ball. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add that accelerator that we use to this. I like to make a little quick swoop around the ball, letting it come out. It kind of has like a dish soap end to it basically, so it's pretty easy. And then the machine goes on. What we're going to do is we're going to turn the heater on. Luckily we have a water base that's usually hot already to begin with in that 120 to 130 range, so we don't have to worry about it heating back up. Then turn the machine on, and you're going to hear a fan inside of this going on, and then the buzzing, which is going to be that purposeful going back and forth between the metal and the ball, that electronic waves that we like to see and hear, taking that oil out of the ball basically. The fan inside, they've learned, I think, as time's gone on, that it gets pretty hot in here because of that metal bucket that's in here that holds all the water. It needs a fan to kind of make sure that it stays cool inside of there. One of the things that you'll notice is that this is a Hammer Web tour. Coach has had this ball, I think, for a good couple of months now, maybe 3 months, ever since it came out. What he has found is that as time's gone on, he's questioned me as to why he's leaving 10 pins every so often and the occasional tripping an 8 pin out of a possible 8-10 leave. So what we do is we need to get it in the machine now that he's been past that 60 to 90 games and basically get his ball detoxed. What you're going to see in this next picture is going to relate towards what Coach's ball looked before and after it got to the detox. You can see that the milky white picture is from the ball losing all the oil that it had gained from the time that he got it brand new to the time that he got detoxed. Coach has detoxed his ball twice since having this ball purchase, and when he got the first time, he actually went out and shot a 300 about a week or two after he got the ball, and in doing so had scored bunches and bunches of 700s after that. When he got to the point where he needed to do a detox, he got back out there again and shot another 300 again. It just goes to show if you bring your ball back to its original state, you'll be much impressed as to how it keeps rolling day in and day out. What we would like to explain to you here at Bowlersmart also is that the prices for these for us is $30 generally for a half an hour. You may find a pro shop guy out there that's really good and will give you more time, but typically it's $30 for every half hour you get it. You want to check into your pro shop guy to make sure that you don't need a resurface also, which is something we did with Coach's ball. It is an absolute necessary project also if your ball is still not looking the greatest once it comes out of the process of being detoxed. We have a 360,000 grit on the web tours, and that is what we ended up hitting Coach's ball with again to give him that second 300 that he has had now. Total of 3, and I think his last one might have been, joking aside, 1911 now. But in all reality, Detox Machine is probably one of the greatest positions to put yourself into getting your ball back to its original state.